Hey guys, my name is Joy Rowden and I'll be your CampusReel ambassador for the California University of Long Beach, also known as CSULB and Long Beach State. I'm currently sporting the spirit wear for the school. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a journalism major. I am a freshman. I chose journalism because I love all aspects of journalism. I love the reporting. I love the writing. I love being in front of the camera. I love being behind the scenes and editing the footage. So it encompasses a lot of things because I like to do a lot of things and I can't see myself doing one thing only for the rest of my life. My hometown is actually Busan, South Korea. That's where I was born, but I've also lived in San Antonio, Texas. I lived in Long Beach, California for my middle school and high school years. That's where I graduated high school, and part of the reason why I chose Long Beach State because of its proximity to my house at the time. And now I currently live in Whittier, California. Some other facts about me is that on campus I am involved with two Christian groups, one called Crew Ministries and the other one Soon Movement. And then I was also working with 22 West Video Productions. At Cal State Long Beach, I am also part of the University Honors Program, which is something that you have to apply for in advance before attending the school. And you can even apply when you're at the school. So I'm really excited to take you on this tour with me. Although Cal State Long Beach is not an Ivy League school or like a UC, it's a Cal State. Some people don't see it as a high-ranking school, even though it is one of the most competitive schools, not the most competitive, but one of them for Cal State. It's a great school for academics, and there is diversity, first of all, and then second of all, they have a lot of opportunities and they really try to help their students. Although, if I'm going to be honest, they do have some problems with how they run things, but overall, it's a great school. So let's get started. Okay, so the question is, what is the workload like in your major? So I am a journalism major. I would say overall it's not that difficult, but I'm also good at writing, not to brag. Just a side note, generally when you pick a major that aligns with your personal interests, likes, and your personal talents and capabilities that are better in this area, then your major will seem easier than if you choose a major that you're not interested in as much, or if you're not good at the subject. But it just depends on the major. You could be good at math, and being a math major might still be hard. It just makes the workload seem easier and lighter if you're good at it. Like with journalism, you have to be like the expert on like pretty much everything. When you write about something, it's like as if you know the topic when you really don't. So I would say that like if I was to do a STEM major now, I would probably want to drop out of college because STEM is really hard. I'm not a math person, so I think overall like STEM majors have a more difficult time just because the subject matter that they're dealing with is more memorization, more labs, because if they take science classes, it's just more mentally taxing and they just have a lot more work that they have to do and understand. So I think more of the liberal arts majors are a lot easier because the workload is not as heavy. So yeah, right now like it is a lot of writing for journalism. I haven't had that many journalism classes yet just because I still am a freshman, but they are pretty easy so far. Nothing is asked too much of us. What are classes like? So classes for my major are pretty small. There's usually like 20-25 people, maybe less, for my journalism classes compared to my GE classes, which my math class had like 140 people, I want to say, something like that. So they are definitely smaller. I think that the professors for my journalism classes versus my GEs definitely have a bit more personality to them. I don't know if that's just a journalism professor thing. Yeah, they definitely have more flavor to them. But I've enjoyed all my classes so far. Well, maybe not math. Are classes discussion-based or strictly lectures? This depends on the professor and the subject you're dealing with. A class like Math 104, which is the math class I had to take, it was a GE, it's going to be lecture-based primarily. I also have, with math classes, I believe, mine had it, is an activity section where you did the homework together. The discussion classes are a lot more interesting because you get to participate. It's like being in an English class and being able to like elaborate on the book, like, oh, I thought the flower meant this or this and that. It's kind of like that. And so the classes that are more like discussion based are smaller classes usually, because when you have a GE that's really huge, there's like a lot of people, not all of them can like participate in a discussion. So my honors classes with the university honors program, they are usually small in size. They have to be, and they're like primarily discussion based. If you take a class like gender studies, it's going to be discussion based. So it just really depends on the subject matter, how many students are in the class, and usually for what major. What is the student faculty ratio? I think I saw something on like US News. It's about like 24:1. There are quite a few classes that do have a good number of students. Like I said, there's 140 kids in my math class, and that's usually general ed classes. That's not usually your major classes, because people are weeded out down the line as time goes on. How is your relationship with professors? I've only actually talked to one of my professors outside of class. Went to his office hours. Most of my professors I get along with well. Professor I despised was my math teacher, and she was a nice person. I just didn't like taking a math class. So generally I've had good impressions of all of them. They do some stuff that like irritate me, or like they won't answer emails when it's not their office hours, or this and that, or if you ask a question that they answered in class, then they won't answer your email, or like they require attendance. Like almost all of my teachers I've had so far require attendance as part of your grade. So if you don't go to class, you don't get to make up stuff, you don't get points, which I understand. Like it's not like I'm not gonna go to school, but it's kind of annoying because I'm like, is this high school? Like when you think about college, like people are always like, professors don't care, they get paid their way. I think the professors are they're very good and they care. That's what I noticed a lot about the professors at college at Cal State Long Beach, is that they care. Because when I came to college, I expected them to not care about me or whether I was in the class, and like that my participation, my effort would go unnoticed. But even in the big lectures, I've noticed that they like actually care and they want me to learn and pass the class. So I think that they care. They're kind of, it reminds me of high school in a way with teachers, except your bond with the teachers are not going to be as strong as they were in high school, just because you don't see them as often. You might go to class like 2 times a week, and that's like for like what, 15 weeks or something for a semester. Office hours, like I said, I only attended 1 office hour, and that was kind of to introduce myself to my first journalism teacher, so I can get those connections. You know, you want to build those connections with your professors so that when you need like recommendation letter, you can ask them for that. And almost every professor, they have, I don't know if they have to or they just do, they have office hours. Some are really inconvenient, like you'll have like the only time you can see a professor is during the time you have class, and you're just like, ugh, really? And like, or they'll be really short office hours. They'll be like, oh, I can only meet for 30 minutes like before class or after class, and you're just like, why? Like, why can't you make it an hour long, you know? Definitely do see your teachers or your professors during their office hours. That way they can get to know you. Okay, so we're in So-Young's dorm in the International House, okay. So she's gonna give us a little tour.
Hi. Oh, this is my desk and this is my bed.
So it's a double, comes with the desks and the beds, yeah. And there looks like there's storage space underneath the beds.
That one was supposed to be here, but we moved there because it was really uncomfortable.
Okay, and then you have some closet space over here?
Yeah, we have to bring the blankets and pillows and fan.
You have to bring the fan?
I house don't have fans.
Is it hot in here or cold?
It depends on the rooms, but my room is really hot.
So the International House does not have AC. So this is So-Young's bathroom. So they got 2 sinks, and a total of 4 people share this bathroom. And you have 1 shower, right?
Yeah, it's
1 shower. They got a toilet.
Someone clean every day.
Like a staff for Cal State Long Beach? Yep. And so what would you say are some like dorm room essentials?
Personal things. Dryer. This one. It's for the clothes.
The hamper?
Yeah. And hanger. We don't have hanger.
Oh, you have to bring hangers?
We should bring hanger.
How's the laundry?
We should pay $1 for washer and five dimes for dryer.
Do you have to wait in a long line usually?
Sometimes, and I think it's really bad.
You think it's really bad?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's really bad?
Dryer makes my clothes worse.
Is it wrinkles them?
Yeah.
How's the showering in the dorms?
Shower? It depends on rooms, but my room is clean but really small.
Okay. Do you have to share it with several people?
4 people, but some rooms share 6 people.
Okay. How does the meal plan work?
Meal plan is around $10 per meals. So I think it's really expensive because in Korea we pay $3 for school meals, so it's really expensive here. And quality is so. Okay, just okay.
Do you think that by being in the international house, you get to meet more people versus not living on campus?
Yeah, I heard a lot. I think it's really good point for international house students. I mean, we can meet a lot of people from different countries, and the reason I choose this building is that one. I mean, I can make many friends from different countries. I don't know other buildings for dorm, but our international house has a lot of events, and today we have first meeting for new students here.
Oh, for the spring semester?
Yeah.
How are the RAs, like the resident assistants here?
We have 2 RAs, and for that side, west side and east side.
So this is the central quad. It's the biggest quad on campus and the most popular one. Week of Welcome is hosted in this area every semester, and people like to sit and hang out with friends, do homework while the sun is out. Today it was just raining when I was filming, but it's a great place to catch up with friends. H Hut is one of many convenience stores on campus that have snacks, and it's located next to the library. On campus, you'll be able to find these newspaper vending machines, especially in the central quad. So this is one entrance to the USU second floor, and there's also a quad where there's a lot of like couches and seats with umbrellas. When it's nice outside, people like to sit out and do homework. So this is just the top view of the USU, which stands for the University Student Union, and thank you for watching this video. An excellent resource on campus is the 24-hour study room in the USU, room 201 in the West Wing. So there are rooms in this building that can be rented out or reserved by like organizations, clubs, departments for their meetings. And so, but students can use those rooms during 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. without like reserving it, but you can stay in this little area, which I am in, during the day. And I like to plug in my Mac and my iPhone and charge it up before heading to upper campus, and it's just a really good place. So the bathrooms are actually really nice, and in the women's bathroom they actually have free hygiene products for like periods. So this is the bathroom in the 24-hour study room. As you can see, it's really nice. Most bathrooms are this nice in school. They keep it nice and clean. And this is just me. Adjacent to the 24 study room is the corner market where you can buy snacks. And here is the university bookstore. They have some really cool stuff there. They sell technology. I actually bought my MacBook there, and I got a free pair of Beats. I don't recommend buying your textbooks here because they are overpriced. However, they do compare their prices with other prices like Amazon, and it's a really good place to buy spirit gear. So next up we have the USU, also known as the University Student Union. There's a lot of cool stuff in here for students, and there's pool tables, bowling alley, foosball, and they come at a cheap rate. And there's also ice hockey. You can sit around, watch TV with your friends, study. There's lounge rooms to do homework. There's a lot of them. There's even a quad where people can sit out when it's nice and just eat their lunch, hang out with friends, or even just do homework. There's a food court with Carl's Jr., Subway, El Pollo Loco. There's a coffee bean. So the Brahman Hall is another important place. This is where you can buy your Long Beach Transit bus pass for $5. I believe if you're taking like financial aid that you would go here to do stuff about that. And this is where enrollment services is. Will be taking this spring semester. It's actually a smaller class, even though the COM 130 is a GE, so a lot of people take it. So this is just a smaller classroom size, as you can see, and it has quite a few seats. I want to say there's probably at least like 55 seats in here, but for a college class GE, that is kind of small because it can range up to like 140, 150 for a GE. That you can talk, and it's like collaborative group study, so like you're free to like watch videos, talk. I was just going to talk about the work-life balance in college. It's definitely doable depending on like how much of a load you can take. It is challenging to balance work and school at the same time. In my experience, I struggle with that just because like I do other stuff besides work and school. I have social activities, I try to work out, I have personal hobbies, and I commute, so it can be a lot. I do definitely recommend working because when you work you have extra money that you can do things, and also it's just something to put on your resume that you've been doing customer service, you've been in retail, whatever the heck it is. For me, I work on the weekends, like Saturdays and Sundays. Last semester, I barely worked. I have like no shifts or like one shift a week, and that was based off my own like personal decision. There are some people that do work like actual part-time. Like I work part-time, but I work like anywhere from like 7 to like 16 hours a week, which is like 1 or 2 shifts. During the peak times, like the summer, winter break, Thanksgiving break, that's when I work a lot more. I'll be working like almost like full-time, like 35 hours a week. But I don't recommend doing that during the school year, so I recommend applying for scholarships so that way you have money to pull from but have a job. And you want to pick a job that has a good flexibility, because you will have events that you want to go to during college that are on the weekends, that are on the weekdays, and you can't go, or club like meetings are usually after school, like at 5. It's really hard to make it to those if you work on those days, so I recommend like not working as much, working on the weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, maybe Fridays, maybe the weekdays just for school so you can focus. Because normally you won't have a lot of homework to where you have to do it on the weekends anyways. Challenging if you do work probably more than 16 hours a week. It is hard to balance because you're in school and you're doing schoolwork like Monday through Thursday, and then Saturday and Sunday you work. And if you want that job flexibility, what I recommend, 9-4 is like an amusement park. I work at Knott's Berry Farm, ton of workers, and then you get more hours when you're out of school and when other people are out of school, when you can afford to work more hours, and you get less hours when you need less hours because you're in school, because everyone else is in school. It's a good place to start. It's like In-N-Out is very flexible with your time, and they're open later too, so that way if you can't work every day, you can work at night. I don't recommend is a retail because they don't give you enough hours a week. Also waitressing, even though being a waiter or waitress, it's a good pay. I personally don't have experience in that, but I know that it does take a lot of time commitment, especially if you work at like a non-chain restaurant. Then they probably recycle the same couple of people. Hear the thunder. It's currently going to storm. Good money because you get tips, and you plus you get the minimum wage salary if you need money, but it is time consuming. A lot of jobs on campus too that you can apply for. I know some people say that there is like a long wait list because they are very popular, so when you see an opportunity, whether it's an internship, whether it's a job or a volunteer, take it. Yeah, definitely do that.
Hey guys, so this is the Student Wellness and Recreation Center at Cal State Long Beach. It's also known as our gym. It's a nice facility. It's very huge. It's very new and nice looking, very kept well, and there's a lot of people in there that know what they're doing. So it's actually quite a distance away from upper campus where most of your classes will be, so it is kind of a nuisance of where you should park, whether you should stay parked by where you're at or by the gym. The gym offers several paid and non-paid classes like spin classes, Pilates, yoga, cardio workouts, butt workouts, etc. There's a nice big basketball court for those of you that like to hang out and just catch some hoops with friends. There's a nice lap pool and jacuzzi, and I believe the jacuzzi is open until like 10 at night on Monday through Thursday. There's also a nice rock climbing wall for those of you that like that extra workout. And this is one of those rooms that I was telling you that they do those classes like yoga or Pilates in. Their dance rooms, sometimes you can go in there and exercise by yourself. They have a decent amount of equipment for weights and cardio. And this is their indoor track, which I love to use every time I go there.
Hey guys, so today I'll be talking about dining locations and like convenience stores on campus. I am sporting my favorite Long Beach State t-shirt. The first one is Starbucks, which is a very popular place. There's actually two Starbucks. There's one in the University Dining Plaza and there's one inside the library. They both tend to get a little bit busy, so sometimes what I would do is if I want coffee or something that resembles like a Starbucks drink, I'll go to the Coffee Bean in the USU, which usually has a shorter line. Different restaurants I'm going to tell you that are in the University Dining Plaza, there's an app called Tapingo that you can use to like order your stuff without being in line, and it's really helpful, but it's also bad because it encourages you to like spend more money and eat more food. My decoration fell down. Next we have the Beach Walk, which is like a vegetarian vegan type of place. Have stuff like wraps, bowls, like an avocado bowl, acai bowl, sides like potato salad, chips, soup, and their prices range like for their wraps they're all like $7.59 and they're served with chips and a choice of fruit or potato salad. Then they have paninis, bagels, salads, stuff like that. So very like if you have like dietary restrictions, then that's a place to go. Opa Greek, which basically it has Greek food. Salads, which can range from $6 to $7.29. They have bowls. They have sandwiches. It's just Greek food is the best way I can explain it. And there's Hibachi San, which is a Japanese-inspired cuisine. And then there's Panda Express, which I'm very guilty of. I spent so much money last semester at Panda Express. And the thing is, like, I don't know why I never used it, but whenever you buy something there, the receipt is always like, use this for your next like food thing. You get a free like entree or either appetizer, one of those. And I never used it. And I probably could have got like, I don't know, 10 free appetizers or something like that, or entrees. So Panda Express, like every other Panda Express, the line gets very long, so I definitely recommend using Tapingo for that. There's Squeeze Me, which is a drink smoothie place. So the University Dining Plaza is open from 9 to 7 Monday through Thursday. And on Fridays, it's open from 9 to 2. On Saturday and Sunday, it's not open. So a lot of things on campus, because Cal State Long Beach is a commuter campus, a lot of things are not open on the weekends. Like it's kind of like a ghost town almost. Starbucks hours are a little bit different. They're open 2 hours earlier on Monday and Thursdays. They're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sorry, I'm looking at my laptop. And then on Fridays 7 to 2, and they're closed on Saturdays and Sundays as well. Okay, so there are a few sit-down restaurants, not that many. So the University Dining Hall Plaza, there's like a bunch of seats inside that you can sit at the restaurants. When it's usually during like lunch hour, all the seats are kind of taken up, especially the seats by the outlets. You'll notice every time you need an outlet, you can't find a seat near one because someone's already using it. Or they have their backpack that is saving their spot while they're in line to get food. It's like a mall food court basically. Chart Room Restaurant, which I have never been, but I always walk by it. I think it's like a buffet plus salad bar. I don't think you need reservations for it, although if you're gonna have a party or group there, you do need reservations. There's the Outpost Grill, and they have a Papa John's inside that restaurant. It's also a sit-down restaurant, I believe. the Nugget Grill and Pub, which is a sit-down restaurant next to the University Dining Hall Plaza, and that's the only place where I believe you can get alcoholic beverages, but you have to be of age. The most important and life-saving food locations on campus are the 6 convenience stores, which I have spent so much money at, and my 2019 goal is not to spend money on those places. They're your lifesaver because you'll realize that the University Dining Hall Plaza, as much as it sounds good to eat after having that math class or having that hard class or that midterm, it's expensive. Let me tell you, expensive. You see that like $6, $8 adds up and you're like, I didn't even like that meal that much, you know? So as a broke college student, you know, I don't recommend spending your money on campus, but it's up to you. So make your lunches, don't eat at campus because you'll save a lot of money. I spent like $700 something last semester on food alone, and I'm like, that's where all my money went. The reason why the 6 convenience stores are your friend is because they sell Scantrons, pens, pencils, like little like notebooks, like erasers, paper, but they also sell like very convenient food, like frozen food, like those like TV dinner type of things. And then they have cup of noodles, which is a essential for college students. Like I probably ate more cup of noodles than I did have hours of sleep. Have all of that. They have like all the good junk food that like as a kid you're like, oh my gosh, Oreos, Flaming Hot Cheetos, Takis, or those like breads that you always see in like the gas stations that are like Danish, like strawberry cream and cheese. Like they have all of that stuff. Beach Hut, which is next to the library. There's the bookstore convenience store, which is like next to the bookstore. They have the corner market near the USU, and then they have Outpost, Wall Street, and they have the Broadman Hall beach cart. Make it almost too convenient. You'll find yourself, like this happened to me, like I had a midterm or a final and I had Scantrons at home, but I forgot that I had to bring it for class because I'm used to like in high school the teachers created the Scantrons, like I didn't have to bring it. So they're very convenient because you're like, oh my gosh, I left it at home and my house is like 20 miles away from here and you can't just go back. Oh my gosh. So go in and out and it's like 20 cents or 10 cents for like a Scantron. And yeah, and when you're in a rush, just get that cup of noodles. And what I really like is this Japanese style udon it's like the bougie of cup of noodles, but it's like $3 more.
I'm a criminal justice major and I'm a freshman. I chose Long Beach because I knew that it had a fantastic program for the major I wanted to go into, and when I got to this campus it just gave me such an authentic like a visual experience. It really reminded me of the campuses you see in movies or TV shows, and that was important to me. I didn't really come into college with any stereotypes or expectations about the student body, but I've been really happy to find out that everybody is really sweet and welcoming. You can make friends pretty much wherever you go. So my major is really writing intensive, so that's definitely kept me pretty busy. I think academically I've had some fantastic teachers. I've been able to get close to like the people in my classes, which really helps me with my workload and to kind of like bounce off other students to gain more insight. I think that's really important. I think the Long Beach community is really special. This place is so welcoming and there's a lot of stuff for students to do. Go to the beach, there's really cool restaurants, cool places to visit, and I think as a community it's a really special place.
My name is Janae. I'm a freshman at Cal State Long Beach and I'm in the film major. I chose to go to Cal State Long Beach because one, our school is having this plan where we could get free admission, not to mention the financial aid was really good. And I didn't really have a dream college. I didn't exactly know where I was going, but as I looked more into Cal State Long Beach, I realized that it had a lot of the things I need, not to mention a really great film program, so that's definitely why I chose it. I would say it's pretty diverse, considering it's the University of Long Beach, and Long Beach is an extremely diverse city. However, I do feel like the diversity could improve. Diversity can always improve. I love all my professors. They're all really awesome people. They know that we're, as students, that we're struggling in our own way, so they try to reach out as often as they possibly can, at least the ones that I've had. I've never had a professor that didn't, everyone's required to have office hours, but I never had a professor that didn't extend that extra arm to help us pass their class, and I never had one that took pride in the fact that their class was hard. I love my professors. I think it's awesome. And as far as homework goes, it's new, you know. In high school, we didn't have to write papers that were more than about 2, maybe 3 pages long, but here we are with 5 and 6. It's different. I don't like it. I'm not the strongest writer. I do it and I feel good once I have a good product. Sometimes during the week the gym is extremely packed. That's definitely a con. But a pro is that it's free. And a pro is that you don't meet any really mean people at the gym. If you want to use a machine, you can always go up and be like, oh, hey, you know, how many more sets do you have? And based on that, you decide whether or not you want to wait. Everyone's pretty nice. Everyone wipes the stuff down, thank God, because, you know, you're sweaty. Another pro of Cal State Long Beach is just the fact that there are so many free resources. The Japanese garden was free, but God bless, because it's such a beautiful place. Sometimes in between classes, I'll just find myself walking there. Ooh, as I mentioned before, I didn't really take an extensive search into other universities, but it's a lot cleaner. The professors, I hear, are 10 times better than others. Like I said, everyone's just so willing to help, and they acknowledge and they let you know that there are free resources on campus for you to use. I heard that there was a service that you can call up and it'll like drive you to your class. I don't know if that's accurate, but if that is, that's definitely what makes Cal State Long Beach better. The sports teams are awesome. I like the fact that if you want to do a sport, it doesn't have to be like on professional level. They're intramural sports, which is something I'm extremely into. And just Cal State Long Beach, period. It's just an awesome place to be. I just really like it. I really do. I take a lot of pride. I love the theater. I think that's amazing. And finally, what would you tell your high school senior self? I would tell her to not really stress. To not stress. I would tell her to put in a little bit more effort and more work into the things you do, because just the shift between how lax I was my senior year versus just all the things that I have to do now is just it's like a cosmic, it's crazy, it's completely shifted.
Hello, I'm Sohyun and I'm from Korea and I'm exchange student. And I'm studying in Advertisement and I'm senior in my home university. I choose this university because of this location, because the weather is really nice and I can go somewhere, I mean go LA or some places to hang out with my friends. I didn't have expectations, but I feel like more friendly here
Than in Korea?
Yeah. For test, it's easier than Korea. When I first came here, I'm really bad at English, so it's really hard to listen the lecture because there are many major words, and anyway, it's really hard time last semester. I came here last semester and getting better now. Here at this university is really huge and there are many events and I can do anything here. There are many opportunities like club, student club, and some events like Smorgasbord. Coming week, like.
So
yeah,
do you have that same type of experience in a Korean university?
No. Sometimes I feel really scared. Some people ride skateboard in campus. In Korea, I don't ride the skateboarding on campus, and even my university is women's university, so it's really new things.
Yeah, it's like a new experience.
New experience here. I really surprised there are many sports games here. Oh, in Korea, we don't have many big sports game like this. Some I went basketball game and volleyball game. It was really good and they're good place. I would like to say please do everything whatever you want. I don't want to regret not doing things. I don't want to regret. I think I did everything whatever I want, so please do everything.
Hey guys, so I was just going to answer a few frequently asked questions. There is about 37,065 students that are enrolled. It's a huge campus, let me tell you, but it doesn't feel that overwhelming if you join clubs or if you're involved with school, because everyone kind of does their own thing, like in college. It's definitely not like high school. It's very diverse. Long Beach is a very diverse city across every category you could think of. Kind of neat because there's always someone that you can relate to. I really haven't had problems with anybody. I guess the only annoying thing about people at school is like the parking issue. People, like, they don't really reach out to become your friend. You kind of have to reach out to be their friend, and even when you do that, people sometimes don't care, like if you don't click. Because like I remember in high school, like we could be friends with like anyone, but in college it's a little bit different than that because you have to make more of an effort to see them and hang out with them. Hey Ra, what are you doing, girl? Some of the impacted majors at Cal State Long Beach is there are several impacted majors because there's so many students and there's not enough professors or classes to take the students. So that's why I told you to join the honors program. That way you don't have to deal with a delayed graduation. Like their slogan is do more in 4. They want you to get out in 4 years, but it's impossible because you can't take your classes. But if you join the honors program, you can get out in 4 years. I'm gonna get out in 3.5. But that's also because I had AP credits. Engineering, nursing, business, pretty much anything in STEM is like impacted. It's a very popular major. Dance is pretty competitive to get in because you actually have to audition, and they only take like what, 30 out of like 500 people, something like that. So you do have to be competitive. I mean, you don't have to be like competitive to the point where like you will be like the first in line to get into Harvard, that competitive, but you do have to have like a standing, I would say. Greek life. So I'm not a part of Greek life. A lot of sororities and fraternities on campus, ones that are for specific majors, and there's ones for like different like subgroups of sororities. Like there's a Christian sorority you can join, and there's also a Christian fraternity you can join on campus. There's other ones that are just like regular basic, like Gamma Phi Beta, Delta Gamma. Art, music, and theater. Okay, so I did take a theater class, so I went to 4 plays last semester, and they are really good productions. I do recommend going and seeing the plays. It's some of the best clubs, organizations on campus. Depending on your major, I would join something that you connect with people, because like that's the only way you're gonna really meet people and make friends in college is by joining clubs. And you want to join something that takes your time away but in a good way. Like for me, I joined Christian clubs because I want to meet other Christian people. To like determine like what type of people you want to surround yourself with, because that's the good thing about college, is you can choose like who you hang out with. Advice to incoming freshmen: if you could give one piece of advice to your high school self, what would it be? Don't stress out too much about like the name of the college. Like I would tell myself, don't worry about like the name of the college, because in the grand scheme of things it really doesn't matter. I feel like college is like the experience is like what you make out of it, no matter where you're at. And I stressed a lot about like getting good grades, getting all these volunteer hours, doing like everything to be that perfect resume candidate for like UCLA, but in the end I knew I wasn't going to go there, and I knew I wasn't going to get in the first place. Application advice: any advice you can offer students for the college application process, and specifically how they can increase their chances of getting accepted to your school. So I think Cal State Long Beach has about 34% acceptance rate. So Cal State Long Beach is pretty competitive. They do get a lot of applications. Cal State Long Beach accepts everyone from like the Long Beach high schools and I think surrounding high schools into the school when they apply if they meet eligibility index, which basically takes your either your SAT or your ACT score, and I think it times it by your GPA. If you have a really high GPA but you have a lower test score, you can still probably get in. If you have a high test score and a lower GPA, you can probably get in. So you have to make sure at least one of them is high enough, and you can find the eligibility index like formula on the website, but that's basically kind of how they determine. And when you fill out your application, just make sure, I recommend opening it. I think they open them like November 1st. Open it and start it that first date. Add little by little so you don't get overwhelmed. You don't have to submit an essay, which is really nice, but they do ask for your like extracurricular activities and all that, but I don't think that has any weight to like their decision to get you into the college. So the cool thing about the parking garages is that they do have elevators so that you don't have to take the stairs. I mean, you can take the stairs, sometimes they're faster, but you can take the elevators. As you can see that beautiful sky that you can take down, so you don't have to walk, because I'm at the 4th level. So we're in the elevator. Why did I want to work with CampusReel? I first heard about them through Instagram. I think they had like a little ad sponsored like post. A week later, I got an email from them. Intention was like, oh, I like editing videos, I like filming videos, and I was like, why not do it? And if you get paid to do that, like, that's even better. I saw like the whole list of things, and then I'm like, okay, this is really cool, but this is a long list of stuff. As you can see, I've been like crossing them out as I've been uploading them. It was just a really great opportunity to incorporate what I like to do, filming and editing, and then make that into a project that I can put on my resume. And also, I know that, like, as a person that goes to Cal State Long Beach, when I was researching schools, like, there would be a lot of videos on YouTube and a lot of information from other people, from students, about like the UC, Ivy League schools, like very popular schools. There wasn't a lot of information about it. So I was like, okay, well, I'm starting a YouTube channel and then I'm doing this, so I can help further information about Cal State Long Beach to other people who might be interested in going, but there's not enough people to talk about it. So that's kind of why I decided to work with CampusReel. I find it important and fulfilling, this job, because students should be able to have a sense of like where they want to go. Or applying for college is expensive. Like, I only applied to Cal State Long Beach. I didn't want to pay the fee for other schools if I wasn't going to get in, or if I knew I wasn't going to go there even if I was accepted. So it's important for people to be able to save money, and like, even though you can go on like a campus tour, you don't always get like the feel of how the campus is in one day. Well, I'm currently on the 4th level of one of the parking garages that's next to the CBA building. One tip I have for freshmen, actually 2, is don't underestimate parking. Parking is a problem that students on campus have. You come here, understand that you should allow yourself anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to just be here, because parking fills up fast. Parking permits are always on sale, so people can always buy it, but that doesn't mean they have enough spaces for people who buy a parking permit. So it's very important to understand that if you come here later than 9 o'clock, you most likely will have to park way far away from upper campuses, which is where almost all the classes are at anyways. So my tip is, yeah, buy a parking permit pass, because there is some free parking alongside the school. You can't park in the neighborhoods around, but it's not worth the hassle in my opinion. Second tip is join the honors program, because the classes here are impacted. It is a commuter school. There are a ton of students on campus, and there's not enough classes or professors to teach all those students. So I recommend joining the honors program, which I did. Also get the chance, if you're a freshman and you apply, to apply for the President's Scholarship, which can be full ride or a partial scholarship depending on placement among the other applicants and where you fit. And the honors program, there's not a lot of like requirements to it, other than you have to attend 3 events to stay in the program each semester, and I think you have to maintain a 3.5 GPA each semester. It's really helpful because the registration for classes opens a week before the rest of the school for honor students, so you always get the classes that you need. Also show on your diploma or your degree that you graduated with honors, and you also get personalized advising with the honors advisors, so it's really important. So with all that said, I hope I see you at CSULB. Thank you so much for watching my videos on this tour. I hope it was okay. I stressed out a lot about it, but thank you so much. Bye! Will you marry me?